Hi, I'm Nick Shell. I do intend for this to be my final video about hair loss. And I know many of you are thinking, yeah, we've seen every version of that you've done, including the one earlier this year in January where you said, okay, in 2020, here it is, this is the last one. So who am I to say? Maybe I will come back and do hair loss stuff again. I have no part of my brain and no part of my heart that wants to do that anymore. Ultimately, I feel my job's done as far as all this goes. I've made well over 3,000 videos. I've made it very easy to predict whether you're gonna go bald. I've made many videos talking about that. You can look at my videos, Will I Go Bald Test 2020. You can search that on YouTube. You can say, Will I Go Bald Test? And then you can put a number 1 through 5 and there's 5 things. It's the same video ultimately. It's very easy to predict this. And yes, I was the first person on earth to ever broadcast that and bring attention to that. But what I've learned is in doing those videos, people aren't watching the video, answering the 5 questions and saying, Nick, thanks for making that video. Here are the 5 answers to the 5 questions. And Nick, I am going bald or I'm not going bald based on that. People still are making this more complicated than it needs to be. They keep talking about their dad's hairline. They're talking about a hairline that goes up further on one side. They're talking about all these things that are not mentioned in those 5 things. And it's feeling to me like almost I'm dealing with an audience that is largely dealing with cognitive issues, that they cannot grasp how simple this is. But I think the psychology of it is, and this was going to be an upcoming video, that I had like 30 videos planned about hair loss that I'm not planning to do now. But one of those was going to talk about how ultimately, I don't think a lot of my viewers were wanting to know if they would go bald, even though I can clearly tell you that. I think more so they were wanting confirmation that they wouldn't go bald. And that's something that no human being can do. And you can predict it using my method. But the fact that there was such an obsession over this tells me that, Nick, you've done over 3,000 videos on this. You've created a library and a legacy that's still there and people can access it at any time. But I feel for me personally, I have been changed. Again, we'll see if I go back on my word, but where I'm at right now in my life, I've been reached in a way that it's hard for me to focus on something as silly as hair loss at this point, you know, and it ultimately comes down to this. If you're a man who wants to be respected and wants to be liked and wants to ultimately be attractive, you'll study these 10 things and you'll do them. That's how you're actually judged. But see, keep in mind, with me being 39 and being married for almost 12 years now and having 2 kids, I'm in a completely different life, having a career as well. I don't think like a young man as far as thinking people like me or don't based on my looks. That's not how my brain works. I can't relate to that. So I feel I've done more than my share. And ultimately, why would you need to watch new videos of me? You can watch old videos of me. Knowing that there's a library of over 3,000 on this channel, and you can type in any question you want, and you're gonna find at least one video already on the topic, it's very simple and easy to do. So instead of waiting for me to do new ones, just go back in time, travel in time, because as you travel back in time, I'm going to be traveling into the future. I'm actually gonna be living normal, setting here. But it's funny because what really kind of changed this, and it's going to be, I guess, the next video I post on here, I wrote a song about my son called He's Grown Up on Me, or That Boy's Been Grown Up on Me. And in the process of writing that song 2 or 3 days ago and performing it now, my perspective on life has just changed so much. If you've ever seen the movie About Time, it's on Netflix, by the end of the movie, it's him realizing, okay, even if you can travel back in time, you ultimately are going to learn certain things about that day that you wish you could have done differently. So start living every day as if you've already lived it, and then you won't have a reason to travel back in time to learn that. That's the whole premise of the movie. And I feel that for me, that's really what I want to spend my time doing. I don't want to spend my time making videos for people who ultimately aren't appreciating them. If you appreciate it, you would leave comments saying, Nick, thanks so much for making the video to explain if I'm gonna go bald or not. Now I know for sure, thank you. I don't get those comments. So people aren't using the product as I designed it, and I can accept that. I'm gonna go ahead and move on with my life. What I think I should be spending my time with doing now is actually writing more songs and understanding myself better and what I'm going through. Because as a human being, I'm going through stuff. It has nothing to do with silly hair loss stuff. Like, I'm going through stuff. And for me, ultimately as an artist who writes songs and plays guitar and sings, I've got to sort that stuff out. Basically journaling through music. And I think I would rather only do 1 or 2 videos every week, but actually mean something. Even if it barely gets 100 views, I'd rather do that than get 1,000 views on my newest haircut, which, by the way, this is a new haircut. I'll end the video with that as a final farewell here in a minute. But ultimately, another thing that I'm struggling with right now is just, as a Christian, I feel like it's gluttony to keep making all these videos. Now, yes, it's true. I'm still getting $500 a month from all of those previous videos I've made. Even if I never make another video again on this channel, I've still got $500 a month coming in from all of those other videos. And again, I feel good. I feel proud of my work that I've been able to do to help answer people's questions about hair loss. But I think beyond that, especially now, it just feels like overkill. It feels like gluttony. I feel like I would just spend a lot more time making videos to talk about the same stuff just to make maybe 10 more bucks a month for a little bit extra. So why don't we just let this channel be it's a foundation, ancient civilization of hair loss, and then you're going to see, build on top of that, I'm going to be writing songs that actually are coming from my heart and actually mean something to me. And I'll do other stuff. I actually think a good idea is I have several video ideas for talking about me, weight training and what I'm eating and that sort of thing. I've found that those videos actually get a lot of views, so they're relevant, and it's not catering to an audience that's having a pity party for themselves. I think it's just a good conversation to have, because I think it's very important to take care of your body and be healthy and work out. I think that's good. So that seems like a healthy conversation, where these hair loss conversations just don't seem healthy. To the fact that I was making parodies of my own videos and creating all these characters ultimately just to show how silly it was, and people were taking me serious, and it meant nothing to me. But these songs I'm writing mean something to me. For me, it's almost like I'm having some kind of spiritual awakening, and I want to be more in touch with my Christian faith. And I feel like playing some kind of silly villain/game show host that I've been doing these videos, I just don't feel like that's who I need to be anymore. Again, maybe I will eat all these words in a couple months and I'm like, okay, I'm back to hair loss videos. Well, it's better that I just say, it's probably my last video. It's easier to say that, because again, I've tried multiple times, but what does that tell you about me? I've tried multiple times to stop making these videos because it's not in my heart. I don't even want to do them. So I think by spending my time on writing songs and doing other videos that actually mean something to me, even if it's something more casual, like talking about working out, as long as that's relevant and it's not people, looking so inwardly that they're feeling bad about themselves and focusing on what they can't control. I just want to keep everything positive and focused on how to focus on yourself and build yourself up in a positive way. So for me, I'm journaling through writing songs, and I'll talk about some other stuff too. But mainly, the main focus for me is probably going to be my music. That's what I actually truly care about. And I've written so many songs this year alone, and covered several too. I want to try to keep this a 10-minute video. So what I'm going to do for my final farewell for hair videos is, I did get a new haircut, so we'll take a look at that. It's funny, I wrote a song called Jeep Wrangler Theme Song a couple months ago. And so when I went to get a haircut a few days ago, I showed the lady the thumbnail of that video here on this channel, Jeep Wrangler Theme Song, which is one of the many songs I wrote, more just a fun song, but ultimately, yeah, it's one of the ones I wrote. And the thumbnail was like, okay, that'll work, I like that. So this doesn't exactly look like that, because I think from my previous hairstyle, which was that faux hawk, it's left more length kind of right there in the middle, but it still works for me. It's very low maintenance. And she said that it's a number 5 guard on the sides down to a number 3 on the back. And then I had her do my sideburns at like a number 1. I like keeping my sideburns kind of long and long, but then short. Does that make sense? Length, they come down longer here, but they're cut short. There's not a lot of hair, is what I'm trying to say. And then when they grow out and get bushy, then it's time for me to get another haircut. So I think we're roughly around 2 inches on top. I just wanted something really low maintenance, and that reflects, hey, I'm 39. This isn't nothing crazy. This is just low maintenance and still personality. As far as, I guess, a final product review, this is Woodridge Labs Men's Grooming Thickening Fiber Paste. I got this, of course, at Marshall's, where I get pretty much everything. I got it for $4, and this is the first day I've used it. So there you go. I guess I'll say farewell, and thank you for supporting my hair loss videos for over 5 years now, and for over 3,000 videos. Keep in mind, anything you want to know I've already addressed on this channel, just search in the box, type in my name, and type in your question, and you'll see that I've already covered it. And really, when it comes down to it, I think I'm kind of done even responding to people's comments that they leave on my hair videos, because ultimately, again, if you really wanted to know, you would look it up on my videos. I feel that I need to manage my time in a way that doesn't focus on the hair anymore. I let that be reruns and let that keep happening. But I really want to look forward to the future and how I want to focus my life and my time in creating videos. Your comments belong right here. No more answering hair loss questions. Time to retire.